Hi guys. Okay, there's a video I want us to listen to. The video is from legendary LD Don. Uh, used to be one of the best rappers those days when we were growing up. Gen Z might not know, but yeah, if you follow Afrobeat, you would know LD Don. So I'll play the video. Let's listen to it. We'll come back to it.
All right, so I'm sure you might have heard the Nigerian saying, you don't cast. You don't cast means it's no longer special. It's no longer valuable. It's no longer giving. And to use it in an example, if you say, hey, I see a lot of BMWs, a likely response from a Nigerian would be, BMW don't cast, meaning too many people can afford it now. So basically, if too many people have enough prosperity to afford a BMW is no longer valued in the society. And it got me thinking, right? I think that capitalism and consumerism has quietly done something dangerous and destructive to our society. They've changed how we measure human worth. So today, the value of a human being is tied almost entirely to material things. How rich you look, what car you drive, where you live, who you hang out with. It's not character, it's not integrity, it's not contribution, it's all just perception. And see, once that happens, having more than the people around you becomes the goal, not everyone being okay. No. And that's why politicians, for example, they're not really incentivized to fix poverty. Even though we have all these resources and all of this wealth, poverty is what gives them relevance. It gives them control. People who are desperate are easy to lead. They're easy to promise. They're easy to manipulate. And it's the same with religious leaders, right? Poverty becomes a tool, a weapon. If people are struggling, they keep coming back for hope. They keep coming back for miracles, for prayers. So suffering gets spiritualized instead of solved. And it doesn't only matter to the people at the top, right? The average person is doing it too. We all do it. We look sideways at the next person and we're thinking, at least I'm doing better than you. And that comparison becomes our only source of self-validation. And most of us don't even realize that's what we're doing. We even pray it. You shall be the head and not the tail. It sounds good, but why does someone else have to be the tail for me to feel successful? Why can't everyone be okay? When your self-worth comes from comparison, helping others feels like you're losing. And a society that's built on that kind of thinking slowly hurts everyone, including the people who think that they're winning. People who live on the island, they look down on the people who live on the mainland. People who live abroad are looking down at the people who live at home. My Cybertruck makes me feel like I'm better than you because you drive a Honda. Employers feel more worthy than their employees and they treat them like shit. It's created what we call in Nigeria chairman mentality where, everyone wants to have the biggest house on the street. They want to drive the flashiest cars. They want to carry the most expensive handbags. They want to travel abroad multiple times a year to feel validated. And the concept is so crazy that we're constantly looking at our celebrities even. And even the one that owns a Ferrari is feeling inferior because someone else just bought a newer model. And we all still wonder why our leaders don't really care about the average person. Let me ask you this. What is the incentive for a politician in a system like this to fix the schools in his community if his self-validation and his bragging rights come from his kids studying abroad? Why should he care about healthcare for everyone? If I can just hop on a jet to France or the US for treatment, what do I care about the healthcare? Why should you help your friends become successful if your validation comes from being the most successful among your group of friends? We even have generators that we call "I better pass my neighbor." This mentality makes it impossible for people to cooperate and do things for the greater good of everybody. It drives us towards individualism in ways that are detrimental, really, to the greater good of everyone in the society. And I was just thinking about this morning. Like, I'm not blaming anyone. We're all guilty. But I feel like the moment we see this clearly, I think we can start choosing a different direction. It is my belief that a society only moves forward when everyone being okay matters more than you being ahead. Saying,
So
don't cast.
I'll stop it here. But I just wanted us to listen to the video and I'll talk about it. So what LD Don is literally saying is that the order of the day in Nigeria is competition. Competition. And that has led to all the social vices that you see in Nigeria. I don't want to mention names so I don't sound like a saint. But everything you see, every social vices you see in Nigeria currently today that is causing insecurity, that is causing bringing bad name to the country, is all tied to what LD has said. And let's call it straight. The politicians, they've weaponized poverty in the sense that a lot of people are deprived back home. I'll give you a straight. This sun is kind of getting to my face. So I'll give you a straight illustration. Just a straightforward illustration, you know. I'll use the Western world as a comparison. I'm not supposed to be using the Western world as a comparison because the gap is too much, but I'll just give you an instance. If everybody in Nigeria is okay to the barest minimum, these politicians will be relevant. Now, difference between the rich in Nigeria and the poor is too much. The gap is massive. Now, the gap between the rich and the poor in the developed country is very tiny. You can hardly differentiate between the rich and the poor because of how their economy is structured. Now, I'll give an instance. Every person living in America, and every resident, let me not use citizen, everyone living in America legally can afford a car, can afford a house, can afford the basic amenities. Hence, competition reduces. We still have competition a lot in the Western world, but it has reduced it. It has reduced it to the barest minimum. You don't need to know anybody to own anything. Whereas in our society, what LD is saying, you need to know someone for you to have anything. And people who have gotten something, people who have been privileged to become rich, they want to intimidate you with their wealth. They want to intimidate you with their G-Wagon, their Benz, their house, the kind of car they drive, the kind of generator set they have, the kind of wristwatch they wear, the phone they use, all sort of stuff like that. That's what it is saying. Whereas in the developed country where he is currently in America, he has been in America for years now, he's based in America currently, he's into real estate in America, and he's doing well for himself. You don't need to impress anybody with anything. Though there's still competition among the rich, but the poor man, the so-called poor man, don't need to beg you to feed, don't need to beg you to have a house. Same across board in the UK, Canada, Australia. That's how it is. Now, what are we doing wrong and what should we do right? I will need you to put comment on the comment section. Write what you think is the solution to Niger problem. Just put on the comment section. See, there are a lot. And do you think we can have a change? Do you think the country can be changed by anybody? Do you think we can get a messiah that can fix the country? Do you think it will get to a point whereby Nigerians would not want to live any other country apart from Nigeria. Because a lot of people, Nigerians in the diaspora, they want to come back home. I'm not lying, because of the weather. Because of the weather condition, Nigeria has the best weather condition in the world, the best weather atmosphere in the world. Yeah, not just Nigeria, some other African countries. But in the Western world, you have 6 months of regular weather. Is it 6 months? You have like 5 months of regular weather. You have like the other remaining month, the other remaining 7 months is cold. So imagine you being cold for 7 months. You just have 5 months for you to have normal weather. Whereas in Nigeria, it's always cruise, January to January. So no matter how much you're making in the abroad, you still like to come back home. People like them Diddy Don, these guys have made so much money in music and they've relocated and they're still making money where they are. They come to Lagos every now and then. You think they don't want to come back fully? They do. But because of the situation back home, they're scared. They don't want to. It's not as if America is safe. It's not as if UK is safe. It's not as if, but the basic things of life that an average human being should have, they have it. You come here, even if you are a cleaner in the UK, you can afford a mortgage. Even if you are a taxi driver, you can afford numerous mortgages. Like you can be a landlord of 10 houses. But those are the benefit of mortgage. And you still be making gain from it and still be living your normal life. So, guys, put on the comment section what you think is the solution, how you think we're going about it. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.